today's plans. Go over some setups for Haven, Icebox, Split, and I might play some Val later too. So feel free to skip around because there's gonna be some good setups today. Right now I've gotta figure out. I know there's a way to change the thumbnail for your live stream. I think there is at least. So I'm gonna take like 2 seconds to figure that out. And then I will get right back to it. Yeah, just let me figure out this thumbnail thing. Let people come in. Oh, and I gotta post it on my Discord. If you're not in the Discord yet, join the Discord. I post a lot of good stuff there. Help build the community. Okay, so how do I change the thumbnail? One nice thing about Twitch is you don't have to worry about thumbnails. I mean, if there's any like audio or any problems with any audio or anything, music's too loud, whatever, just let me know. When I get this thumbnail working, we can start. I'd assume it's in analytics. Oh, I found it. Okay. It'll work. What's up? What's up, the doof, the OJ God? How you doing? How you doing? We'll start here in a second. Icebox, Haven, and Split. Yeah, those are the 3 maps. I'm a little more prepared today. Maybe. And also, I want to play Valorant, but it was like laggy last stream. So I'm gonna have to mess around with that too. So this is gonna be a learning experience for everybody here. Oh, what's up, Porpy? I just put up the YouTube chat. And Camera, what's up? What's up? Is there any preferences on what maps you guys want to start with? Like, the 3 I haven't done yet are Split, Icebox, and Haven. I don't know if you guys have preferences. Honestly, all these maps, I looked at them briefly. It says webcam coming soon. Over in the Discord. Oh, let's go. Yeah, I appreciate you joining the server. Oh, by the way, I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube, so if you hear me reading a chat and it's like not in the chat, it's because it's on the other service. I'm gonna simplify this in the future and like only stream on YouTube, but for now I'm just testing the waters. So says webcam coming soon. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not good with streaming, so I'll have to figure out how to change that. Thank you for pointing that out. Because that was like 2 months ago when I didn't have a webcam. So is there any map preferences before I start? If not, I'll just pick a map. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Yes, I do have a Discord server. I think it's in my link tree. I think it's on my YouTube somewhere. I highly recommend joining. I'm pretty active in there. There's quite a lot of people. Yeah, I didn't really want to do Split, but I haven't heard any map changes that Riot's proposed yet, so I'm assuming the map changes aren't big. So, oh, I need to put on Do Not Disturb on Discord. I got some Discord complaints last stream. I'm gonna just hop into it then. Let's do Icebox. Someone said Icebox. All right. Let's see here. Do you guys like the names on? Because when you guys are like explaining things, it might help. It like kind of like clutters it a little bit, but it might help people who don't know all the names explain stuff to me better. We had some problems. Not everybody knows all the callouts and whatnot. Admittedly, Icebox is my worst chamber map, so I really need to find some new setups for this. It's probably one of my lowest win percentages, I think. Okay, so for defense, let's go ahead and start on B site. Ooh, okay. So we have a pretty basic... Okay. Oh, it might be smaller. I think this is fine though. Because I love playing under here. So what I do, especially on eco rounds when I have a headhunter. Hello, what's up, Grocket? Nice to see you again. So what I like to do on eco rounds, the headhunter, just holding this angle right here, it's super nice. You don't want to be like tucked right against the box. You kind of want to be like over here more. It's more of an off angle. But you just like get one in TP. This TP might have to be over here. Just because it's slightly smaller in game. But I think this is fine. The box is blocking mid. If they do split them B push, you'll be fine. And I think we can trip halls. I mean tube still. Kitchen. Yeah, we can trip kitchen. I like that. What's up, Mohammed? New to the stream. What's up? What's up? Oh, nice to see you again, Golden Owl. So yeah, I'm gonna go through 3 maps: Icebox, Split, and Haven. Right now, I'm starting on defense on Icebox. Might do a little Valorant today. We'll see. Yeah. So a good eco round if you have the headhunter. I like the setup. It doesn't reposition you in a very good spot, but like you can rotate pretty fast. You can go through, like if you were to do this setup for rotating to A, I'd go through mid because it helps you get a little bit of mid control too. Catch some lurkers. What's up, Gergo? How's it going? I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the docks. First one down. Icebox. Whoa. Sorry about the Discord sound. It's just my command for Discord, push the dock. I'll change it in the future. This would definitely be first blood on defense because you're like peeking such an aggressive angle. I think I have to screenshot it again. You're trying to get the first kill. So it's a first blood. Alright, what do we have next? Yeah, so it is a little risky, but there's a box here, which can buy you a little bit of time. But ideally, you'll play here for a while. And if there's no contact, you can like maybe back off a little bit or push through spawn. So like you won't have to TP. If no one's here pressuring you, you'll probably mosey around somewhere. So the box here helps for sure, but mid would be somewhat of a problem. Did they announce the new map yet? That'd be news to me. I have not seen the new map. Yeah, that'd be crazy if they announced the new map. I have to check it out. All right, let's see. I used to love playing up here. I don't think any of us will be able to do that, unfortunately. I love to think we could, but yeah, it's gonna be hard to get like super aggressive with only one TP because you can't reposition somewhere safely. But maybe behind yellow is fine. Okay. Yeah, there is so Porpy, there's no height limitations on the TP, so you can TP up here and then pick up your TP and place it down here, and you can still TP, which is what I was gonna say. If you have chamber ult, since you're using an ult and you can't carry over a gun if you die, I prefer playing like super aggressive angles that are like for this, you'd be on top of yellow and then you'd TP down here into another aggressive angle where you're like kind of in a one and done scenario almost, but you have your ult. So it's not like you dying is going to be that big of a deal because you don't have a gun. So this would be like a tour de force. Just so I can put that in there so I know in the future. This would be something exclusively for tour de force. What trips do we have to work with? I don't think we can't trip kitchen. Yeah, it is sad they got rid of bind. I was kind of looking forward to playing with playing chamber on bind after the update, but right now I'm Ascendant 3, but I have not really grinded this axe yet, so yeah. She's telling me you kill 1, kill 2. Yes. You have 2 opportunities to get kills, potentially more. This is just something you would do like once a game if you wanted to do it, because they would not expect you to do this as a chamber because you're like TPing nowhere safe. You could like place your TP somewhere over here, like as far over here as possible, and then shoot 1 and TP and like get to safety. But I just like the idea of doing this. I don't know where we would put the trip though. You could put it like deep halls, but that's really late information and they can go through snowman. So I don't know about the trip. Maybe we throw the trip here because if like Jet dashes and tries to punish this, the slow might help stop him. Yeah, let's do that. Jet dashes, they see us TP here. We're trying to get a pick. We miss a shot, we back off. The slow allows us to like reposition. So I think that would be nice. And feel free to like throw out any ideas. This is not pre-planned or anything. And these are not like finalized setups. I'm going to be making a video in the future incorporating these setups. And I'm going to touch up all these setups later. I just want to get general ideas now while I have people to like look at them with me. Everyone does that. I want to do the box before I reach the hall. Yeah, it's not really very familiar with those because they are. Yeah, but if you yeah, this is definitely like not something you do a lot. Like once a game, and that's only if you're feeling it. Yeah. And you have to have the tour de force if you're playing this, because you do not want to. The chances of dying are pretty high. So, don't want to have a gun in your hand and then be giving them a weapon. Yes, I do coach. Not for like a pro team or anything, but I think I'm coaching like in Immortal 2 or 3 Friday or Saturday this week. Got a couple others I'm coaching on Friday. It's in my link tree on Fiverr. Okay, so we got a little bit aggressive with Icebox there on B site. Is there any like passive setups that you guys think will work? Maybe some like passive off angles. Yeah, do not, if you're talking about being up here, so playing up on top of yellow with the headhunter is a no-go, because with the headhunter, you gotta hit their head, like it's in the gun. And if you're peeking it at a height difference, there's like a bigger range their head can be. So when you're taking fights with the headhunter, you want to make sure you're on like as level surface as possible because their head will only be one elevation. So like this is specifically tour de force if you're gonna play there. What's up, Blues? Good to have you. Good to have you. We're going over Haven, Split, Icebox. Just going over setups and stuff. Pure TV zone. And play topside kitchen area. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. All right, I'm a little worried. No, that would be fine. This would be good for retake. Like if you're stacking A and you got your team wants to play retake on B, something like this would be good for retake. It's just a little worrying that like this is the farthest you can take it back. I'm not sure what the line of sight would be on this. Is there a way to see? Let me figure this out real quick. Lines. Yeah, it's pretty close. That'd be something you'd have to mess with in game. We could try beat the public beta whatever today, but it was really laggy last stream, so and I didn't do anything to fix it. But yeah, I like this for a retake scenario. I think this would be fine. It's pretty passive, admittedly, but it'll work. You can throw your trip kitchen in the typical way. Yeah, that would work. We could figure out a way to touch that up to make it a little more, to give us like a better angle somehow. But that would be an anchor. So anchor means you're playing like super passive on site and you're like trying to lock down a site or play retake. And that's a retake situation. Do we know the diameter? Yeah, we do know the diameter of the. So this one is 1 meter in diameter, circumference or whatever, bigger. So I've already tested this in the server. It's like even like closer, like it's even like closer, but it's like that. So it's not that big of a difference. But yeah, do keep that in mind. That's why I have like that extra space, because in reality it's gonna be like right here. So same with the trip. The trip's also like this much smaller because I'm using KO abilities right now. Won't it be problematic ulting with the ult being a normal op but set up on yellow? Yes and no, because the thing with this setup is it already takes like a second to pull out your weapon anyway, and I don't think Chamber's abilities are affected by that delay. So by the time the delay ends, you're already ready to shoot your next shot. And you're not swinging immediately because like they're not 100% sure you TP'd there. You could have TP'd, like I was saying, you could have TP'd over here because it still reaches like this. You can peek this and then TP here, which is way safer. So, but yeah, the firing rate, you would have to like maybe wait a half second longer to peek. So. I would give Chamber like a high B tier after the nerf, low A tier. Meta on few maps, but like mid on the rest. That's what I would classify high B tier as. Yeah. Feel free to ask me any questions you guys have. That's what this is for. Helping you guys. Okay. Yeah, that's good. With the idea of playing anywhere aggressive, like, I think that covers a lot of it. There's not many options that you have if you want to TP safely somewhere. Yeah. Every patch I'd say A or B. Yeah, I agree. Low A, high B. Okay, so for mid, what are we thinking for mid? Do we want to play under tubes? We could have our TP. I wonder what we do at mid. Do we fight mid as chamber? Is that even a possibility? Like, having our TP in kitchen gives us like a decent amount of space to fight. Like, I don't hate the idea. You get smoked off, then they go up tubes. That's a little risky. Yeah, but yeah. Do you play him in? Yeah, I'd recommend Viper. Viper's pretty good on this map. There's some like lineups you can do to smoke off rafters. There's like some really good default walls. I hate to like tell you which agents are better on maps, because that might like if you have more experience with Omen, like if I were to try to play like Astra right now, even though she's better on Pearl or something, I'd play poorly with her. So if you're willing to learn a new agent, I would recommend Viper. So I like the idea of fighting mid, TP in kitchen. It's like a pretty good. Maybe you put it on the opposite side so you can TP farther over and maybe swing over here. Because if they smoke you off, you TP here, you could swing this. I'd be a little worried about kitchen. What trip would we use though? If we played this, because we don't need the trip kitchen, because we probably TP there right after they smoke us. We spray through the smoke. Somebody might swing us, probably won't. What trips do you guys think? We can't play anything crazy on B. We could trip A, but then... Okay, so if we do some weird trip on A, like that's not bad, it's not good. The problem is, say there's a little bit of pressure on B, I rotate B, they can easily fake a B, and like my trip's not getting me any value if my teammates rotate off of A, because I don't have control over what my teammates do. So I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe we trip. Some more viewers here. Right now I'm going through all of the maps on attack and defense. Not all of them. Icebox, Haven, and Split. Going through those 3 maps, figuring out some setups that I want to incorporate in my video. If you guys recommend setups, I'll look at them. They might be super good, because I'm just I'm experimenting right now. Anyway, they could end up in my future videos, so feel free to let me know. Might play some Valorant later. We'll see. Okay, trip kitchen array. I'm going to look at that later. That's going to take some thought. I don't like any of those trips, to be honest, but this would be first blood because we're peeking mid trying to get a kill. That's what I'd classify this one as. So let's put it in the Google Doc. These live streams will be posted on my channel if you guys ever want to look at the setups again. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, I like the idea of it. I don't know. Because the range, so I don't, the range of this is a little smaller than what it's shown. So it might be tight. You might have to like play your TP back here, which doesn't allow you that many spots to reposition. And also if you're playing under tube, you kind of don't want to TP kitchen because they could go through tubes if they like do some weird smoke. But yeah, something aggro under tubes is fine as well. I don't think there's like a good setup for opping on B, unless you like, playing default. Like, yeah, we can look at that later. Let's move on to A, defense on A. So one of my favorites, I do this like once or twice a game. I'll push jail, and like if you walk right at this orb, let me show orbs. If you walk right at this orb, they cannot see you, or they will not hear you. So you sprint, walk, and then you peek jail. Like you have this line of sight and swing them. It doesn't work if you have to have a teammate shoot the Sova dart, and you have to not have the jet updraft up here. But that's what I like to do. I don't think it's possible anymore. Sad. Yeah, you can't be like super aggro with chamber, because you can't reposition into a safe spot. Kind of sucks. I'm thinking chamber's definitely gonna be strong with A, like opping wise, because like the TP covers all of this. So there's like so many spots. Like you can have your TP behind this wall, so they don't see you TP, and you can like play some aggressive angle up here. Let me think. I do like playing on top of this. I don't play here often. I'd play here like once around, because at higher elos, maybe not at lower elos, they're pre-firing this, so you can't be up there. But like if you don't go up there a couple rounds and then you go up there, they won't expect it. So, but I'm trying to think, because you have to TP up here, and you only have like a small, like once you TP up here, you can pick up your TP, but like where are you gonna place it? You might be able to place it behind there. In that case, like if that's far enough, that would be good. I'm hesitant to place it back here. Maybe some like utility gets thrown or something, and you're like secluded. You're not safe. Like if you're here, you can like if you TP here, you can back up and retake with your team. So I like this idea if you're like opping. TP up there. What trip do we want? Do we trip mid? No, we can't trip kitchen. It's so sad. The best trip, no longer usable. Honestly, that's fine, because I don't know about you guys, but I was in lobbies where Sova would like do a lineup and just break our trip kitchen. So it was becoming less strong anyway because of the Sova lineups. So now we just got to figure out what trips we want now. Any ideas of what trips you guys use? I kind of like the idea of trip just right there, like right along the wall. So if they swing this, you get information. Because maybe you reposition and you like go play retake. The trip triggers and you can like swing this. You can swing this angle off the trip, so it's not bad. It's not that much. What's up, Robs? I appreciate you stopping by. It's called ValoPlant. They have all the maps. It's not updated yet, so I'm using KO knife and KO ult for the stuff, but it's like within 1 meter of the range. For everybody joining in right now, I'm going through Split, Haven, and Icebox. I'm just going through setups. We've just started, so we're still on defense on Icebox. I like the setup. Any problems you guys see with the setup? I know you're like TPing to like this weird spot, but you don't have, like, there's not a big area you can place your TP once you pick it up. So I think that's fine. And then you have the ability to play off this trip if you want. Or swing this. So, I think it'll work. I'm hesitant to put it under First Blood, but I think it technically would be considered First Blood. So, we'll put it under there. Defense. Oh, I'm under Haven. That's my bad. Definitely not on Haven yet. Alright, there she is. Yeah, it's also an app you can download. So, if you don't want to check out the website. Alright, so we've gotten 2 setups for B. There's like 2 setups we can do for mid. We can play under tube. Your TP options are limited, and we can play boiler with TP and kitchen. We have 2 setups on A. What else do we want? Wait, we don't have 2 setups A. We've only had 1 because we can't play jail. We no longer can swing aggressive unless we like do something weird with the TP. What if we do? I don't know the timing of this. We'd have to mess around with this in game once he gets released and like figure out the timing, because we can place a TP and then we have a lot more to work with. But placing that TP slows us down a lot. And TPing pipes is like mid. It's not bad, but I don't know how I feel about that. And we still can't, like, if we go A, there's no trips we can do for kitchen if we're playing on site. So we would just have to like, so the thing with the trip now, we're gonna have to put it on just like spots. So let's just go over a general trip thing, so I don't have to like explain trips for every setup. Since we can't get a good trip for map information, we're gonna have to put trips in spots where when we TP away, it's in a spot where we can play off of that. So like, I don't know where the spot would be, but this is like not the best spot, admittedly. Maybe it's here and we're playing under rafters, kind of playing retake. If it triggers, you can swing it and try to get a kill. Or you're playing behind box. Something like that. That's not the best example. The best example is definitely this, where they're swinging this and you swing it off the trip. Definitely the trip nerf. I think the biggest thing is the trip nerf. It really limits what he can do. Because the TP is not, like, it's not that bad. Like, if you compare, like, we're gaining a lot. Like, look at all that extra space he can move in. He's just not, he can't TP and reposition into, like, another off angle, which is, like, a big deal. But the trip is definitely more limiting, because that'll literally stop him from being played on certain maps. So, what other setup do we like? We could always, like, play, like, here. I personally don't play here a whole lot. It's a pretty common angle. But then you just TP rafters and swing it. And there's no height restrictions, which is super nice. So we can like be in any height elevation we want if we want to TP rafters again. So you could play some stupid thing and it will still be in range. Yo, what's up, Brady? I did not. I'm gonna be honest, I was so tired after stream, I went to bed right away after yesterday's stream. And I've been focused on school all day today, so I've not been able to pull up Valorant. But I might hop on Valorant later, so we can test it out then. Yeah, so anywhere rafters or even under rafters, we can just do, I'm gonna use marker to do like potential trips, but it's the thing with these trips, it's any place where it gets a little bit of information and you can play off of it. So even like a deep trip is fine, because maybe you're playing complete retake, you're by yourself on A, which isn't likely, usually you have teammates, but if your team's playing retake, you can completely just have a trip over there, and like that's good information to have to swing off of too. So So for now, we'll just call this a setup. Trips unknown, or flexible, I should say. Yeah, the website's called ValoPlant. It's super nice for this sort of thing. It's a website and an app you can download. For everybody new here, going through 3 different maps, doing all the setups. You have Haven and Split left. We've only done defense for Icebox so far. This is an anchor setup. We're playing super passive. Probably playing retake here too, so. Yeah, we have some, we've already went through the mid ones. There's like 2 decent mid ones. It's kind of hard to play mid just because like the repositioning aspect of things, but I'm going to post this stream so you guys can check back on the other setups. And I'm also going to post a video here soon with the setups, so don't worry if you missed any. Can we, so when we're on the ropes, can we place a TP? Do you guys know? Like, let's say I'm taking the rope. Can I place my TP while I'm on the rope? That might give us like a few more options. I don't think we can. I don't think we can use any abilities while we're on the ropes. Like, I've never tried, so. Because I'd like something more aggressive on A. But like, the deeper you get, the less safe your TP is. So, it's kind of hard. It's kind of a dilemma. Oh, it's gotten dark. It gets dark so quickly now. It's not even 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock right now, and it's dark outside. It's crazy. We could place a TP. That's another fun one. I like playing up here. I don't know if you guys have found any success with this. But you can play head glitch. You can maybe play up here. There's like a decent off angle. Peeking belt. And you TP here. And what I do, I use a trip. I try my best to play off a trip. Like any of these trips are fine. This trip's good for this scenario because I'm only focused on this angle over here. And this trip right here notifies me if someone's right here. Because they can't see me right here. So if that trip goes off, I swing this and hit them and shoot them. Yeah, so we could like play like maybe up here and TP there and play off our trip. That'd be pretty nice. And when you're up here, you can like completely put your full focus on there, on this. I don't swing belt. Like when I'm up here, I don't swing belt. I just sit here. Because normally you're playing retake. So you sit here, get your 1, and then back off and play retake with your team. If you're opping, you can swing, I guess, if you want. Not recommended though. But I think this is good. I'll put a dot over here so we know we can play some trip over here to play off of too. It just leaves us a little more exposed. But that'll be a good setup. I like that setup. It's familiar too. I've used a similar setup a lot. Yeah, anchor. Like sort of it's like a mix. It's a hybrid between anchor and first blood. Because you're not being too aggressive, so. What's up? What's up? Everyone new here? We still got 2 maps left. Haven and Split. See some new people. How's it going? I think we covered everything on defense, right? Anything we're missing? I think we have 2 for B, mid, and A. And they're all decent. We can touch them up later. Make them a little better for the video. Yeah, Split's gonna have a lot of things. I've been kind of pushing that back because they might do some map changes, but we'll mess around with it at the end of the stream. Yeah, let's move on to attacking. Why not? If new people come in and have suggestions on defense, we'll go back. Attacking. I'm interested. Can we still do some like lurking stuff over here? We probably can. Repositioning's not the best. just do some like trip right here. Like that's a basic thing. I don't know if you guys have played on the top of this box before, but it's a good angle to peek mid. So I would probably TP up here pre-round, pick up my TP and place it down here. And you have this trip here, so they can't, like if there can't be a person here and there can't be a person here. So when you TP, you're not in danger. It's just good to hold. It gives you map control. It gives your team map control. And then like after a while, you can push through. Maybe you get a pick, you can push through or come back to support your team. There's a lot of options. Trip on blue box might work for attacking. It seems mid flank. I think trip on blue box might work for attacking. All right, which one's blue box? Is this one blue box? Wait, I'll do different colors. Red, yellow. Those are boxes, right? Red or yellow. Anyway, this setup, we'll use this setup as chambermaids. It just gives so much map control and you can do a lot. You can flank, you can support your team, or you get a pick. Your team's getting a lot of pressure on A. They want to rotate and you're already in a good position to do that. And your trip's set up for rotate too. So that'll work. I like it. Attacking, that's a lurk. We finally have a lurk set up. Let's go. They've been kind of lacking on the other maps. I haven't found any decent ones I liked. The TP on the box, man. Yeah. Yep, I think it'll work good. That's a good lurking one. I like that. What do we want to do next? Okay, so here's if you ever op on offense, this is a good setup. This is called the support role. So what you would do, you could place your TP like over here, anywhere in this range, but you're just gonna play belt. If you have an op, you're gonna do the normal TP, and you're not gonna push site. So as the support role, you fill the support role when you have like 2 duelists, and they don't need your help pushing on a site because of those 2 duelists. So you second entering is not that important. So you would like grab an op and you would hold like the most important angle. So your duelists pushing on a site don't have to worry about that angle. You communicate, hey, I'm holding rafters. Hey, I'm holding under rafters. And then your duelist and your team can focus on the other more dangerous angles at the time while you're holding the most important angle. So like it's super passive. But if you do this, it helps your team a lot when pushing on the site because you're taking the biggest angle off their checklist. And then once you get spiked down successfully, they plant for you and it's even better. It obviously depends on the enemy team's agents because if they have a Sage or something that's still alive, it's much riskier to play back here because they can wall it off. But this is a good, if you like hopping on attack, this will just be a good passive support role you can fill. It's pretty situational, but I recommend it. Yeah, support role. All right. So for second entry, so now let's say your team needs help pushing in. They've been struggling. Your lurks haven't been working. So now you've got to push site with your team. You can't place your trip back here because you're pushing site. So let me just throw the trip over here. I guess you just take all of this. You fight with the team for all of that. Where would you put your... Because back here, placing it back here, yeah, you fight these angles, but then like you're not safe when you fight these angles. So you almost have to peek all of this dry with your team. Like I say dry, but your teammate should be using util to help you clear all this. And then maybe you can place it here. Have your team, like, they have to clear this. So if you go here and TP and someone's not here, it's a little iffy even then. Like this is why the other chamber TPs were nicer, because you could like TP somewhere safer and be aggressive with it. So So it's like riskier, but you'll just have to communicate with your team that you need someone to go here. Or maybe your team goes here and you go here. And then you TP back. Or TP pipes, whatever you want. But closer the better. It gives you more space to work with. Yeah. You guys have a preferred spot that you guys have used before that you think is pretty safe? The trip has to be... Ooh, there's not really a good trip. Dang. This is not good. What would we trip? Because the enemy team, they're already pushed. Like, you cannot place a trip back here. That's bad. Maybe Chamber's second entry roll. It's not the best for him anymore. Like, what value can you get? You can, like, place your trip belt. That is such a bad trip. I think we're better off placing our trip somewhere down here. I don't know, what's more of a threat? Do you guys think belt's more of a threat, or them going through main? I guess we can just put both and say situational, but I don't like either or, honestly. Not nearly as good. And post plant wise, you don't have that much to work with this setup. Yeah, you really don't have much to work with. Just play some weird off angle and then TP back. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. Yeah. Trip somewhere over here. Ah, there's gotta be a better one, right? That's fine. Let me... This would be second entry. Okay. Second entry on A is not the best. You could even... Yeah, I like this too. You progress up belt and then place your TP and fight with your team. Trip would be the same sort of thing. Let me just write that down because I don't want to take another screenshot. Yeah, I think those are some decent ones. Post plant, if you wanted to save your TP completely for post plant, honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. There's no, like, saving it doesn't, like, even though you can place it somewhere over here, this is all really dangerous. I don't think saving your TP for post plant on A would be good. So use it for second entry, use it for support, use it for lurking if your team's going A. All right. Let's go B. I don't think we're gonna want to use. Yeah, we're not gonna want to use our TP for fighting this. We can take all this with your teammate's utility. How much space do we have to work with? Ew, we really don't. Like, yeah. Let's say we're pushing. So I'm trying to visualize how this would work. So we pushed. Let's say we get like a weird. We have an omen for some reason. Why not? We have an omen. Now let's stick to classics. Let's do Viper. Here's Viper. We have a Viper. So we have all this place. We get all this map control. We're about to plant. What TP do we like here? Behind yellow's mid, because once this is broken, it's gone forever. And like shock darts, rays, nades always go back here. So I'm hesitant to put it over here. But like if we place it anywhere back here, you're so limited. Oh no. And you can't. This is another situation where you you can't save your thing for post plant because pushing somewhere, your team normally doesn't have space here. Unless your team's doing something where like, I'm just gonna move the back wall, where they're pushing snowman, then it's a little better. You would have someone watching mid. But even then, it's just not good for post plant on this map. So I guess we have to do behind yellow. I think that would be the best option we have, but it'll probably get broken 4 times out of 10, I would guess, depending on your rank, definitely. And it doesn't give you that much freedom. Like I like to go here sometimes, catch them off guard. They don't expect it, but you can't even reach it with the TP. So you could like play something back here. Yeah. Alright, so for this, I think the trips are fine. I think the trip reaches. Take that back. The trip does not reach. So late information is what we're gonna have to live with. Yeah. Dude, super late information. We have nothing here. So playing behind yellow, don't know if I like it. The trip's more valuable. I think we have to play passively and have our TP somewhere just like this, and we're playing pretty passively. We get spiked down. We're just doing our best to help contribute, and then we're just playing post plant, and our trip's still active in this scenario. So, hey, what's up, Jasmine? Thanks for stopping by. Just going over some setups right now. We've got 3 maps left: Icebox, Split, and Haven. Just experimenting. I'm excited for the new update. It'll be different. I haven't played anything different in a while. I'm not happy. Excited and happy are 2 different things, so. I think that's what we're limited to on B. Yeah. We can play yellow, but the trip's just not giving us much value. Honestly, I like Chamber playing mid on Icebox on attack. Doing a little lurk. Or pushing up. I don't know. I think there's more options if he goes mid. So. That's not even second entry. I have to put that under support because you're not, in that scenario, you're not being aggressive. Even though you're not holding like a primary angle, it's like such a passive angle to begin with. So I guess your support in a sense that you're giving your team value with the trip. Yeah, I definitely prefer aggression, but unfortunately this trip limits him. This is his biggest nerf because his aggression is now punished. Like if you want to play aggressive, like you want to play like, you can't even play aggressive like when you're taking site, because if you want to play aggressive, you can't TP anywhere safe. So yeah, at least I want to clarify this with Icebox, because a lot of the other maps we've seen where he can't play aggressive and be perfectly fine. So I said that, and I don't want to worry you because we've done other maps and he looks pretty promising. It just looks like he's going to be pretty mid heavy for this, like especially on A. Like your trip has to go belt or down here if you want to play aggressive. So is there any more last minute setups you guys like, you thought of? Got quite a few for Icebox so far. Oh, my camera is so dark. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm streaming later than normal. Yeah, it's dark. And I want to try Valorant later today and see how it works. See if the lag's bad. So stick around for that. Yeah, I think we're good on Icebox. There's no more, nothing else. We can move on. Is there any maps you guys want to do next? Right now, I haven't done Split or Haven. I kind of want to put off Split just because there's probably going to be map changes. There will be map changes, so maybe some of the setups we find aren't going to be viable anyway. But all right, 1 vote for split. I'll give you guys a few seconds. I haven't seen split in forever. Uh-oh, 1-1. We need a 3rd voter, guys. I can't be mean like that. Gotta do majority rules. Oh no. Okay. If I must, I'll pick Haven. We'll do split. We'll do split after this. I do miss split. I love split as chamber. It was one of my favorite maps. Just because chamber was so strong back then too. Alright, 2 votes for Haven. We're doing Haven. Let's start off on defense. Yeah, let's go defense. Start off on C, I guess. Oh, there's a lot here. Haven might be a strong map for chamber. I see a lot we could do. And the trips aren't that limiting. Okay, let me think about this. What's up, Abstracted? I don't think I've seen you in chat yet. Good to have you. So I think we can play on top of... Let's say we were to TP up here. We can still trip B. That's awesome. We still have the ability to trip B. That's a big thing. If we're playing on this side of C. So if we were to TP up here, we only have a limited range because we have to pick this up and place it. So what if we like do that? Because I think we can reach that. It's another one of those like you shoot here and you're playing here until you die sort of thing, but I don't think it's bad. Preferably... Oh, can we? Oh. I wonder. Yeah, we can't play up there. I think that's fine. And then I'm going to put markers because there's a lot of trips there's a lot of options trip-wise. Like we have this huge range. Sorry if you can hear the fire truck or whatever in the background. That happens a lot. Like there's a huge range of trips we can do. So I'm just gonna put dots. And in the video, I'll explain the situations you should use each trip in. Wait, there's a lot on C. We might be here a while. Haven, this is a first blood. You're peeking C long. Definitely not peeking this with the Phantom. You still TP on top of B? Yeah, you definitely can. Yeah, that's definitely an option. We'll get to B, but there's a lot we can do on every site. This might be a pretty strong map with chamber because there's no height restrictions, so you can play up here and then move your TP anywhere you want. Yeah. Let's see here. So I like that. We can also TP somewhere safer, like if we wanted to. Obviously we can, that's just a variation. I won't get into all the variations. So what if we want to play, is it possible we can play any of these angles? Actually, let's see if we can. I always, if you guys saw the clip in the video, this is one of my favorite. Playing aggressive here and TPing back to another angle is my favorite. Headhunter, Vandal, Op. So maybe there's something we can still pull off here. I don't think we can trip B, but we can still trip Garage. Yeah, I like him on this map too. We can still trip Garage, so that's good. There's not a good, it's not enough range. Like we take this fight, we push up, we TP here, and then we can walk to reposition. I've done this before. Like, I've played up here before, but I would play up here with my first TP. Like, if you TP up here, you're like playing there to die, which I don't like. Especially if there's Sova Dart. They're going to use utility, so I would not recommend that. And TPing here is like... I would love for this to work, but I don't think this works. They're splitting C. You TP here, you're screwed. You have to have a teammate holding garage if you want to do this. And even then, if your teammate dies, you're dead. So... What's up? Thanks for joining chat. I'm using ValoPlant. It's a desktop app or website. You can use either or. Super nice. Okay. I like this setup just because I'm familiar with it. But I'm gonna put like a question mark, okay? Because I don't think it's gonna be good. I will use it, but it's super risky now. Unless, yeah, you can't TP this side because you want to TP over here so you can play retake. When you TP, you can back off and play retake. Or, like, get to another position. So you can't TP over here. You could, like, same problem. Because then you're, like, isolated to this side of site. Maybe if you wanted to, yeah, you can't do anything. You gotta just place it here and deal with the consequences. This is definitely first blood, super aggressive, which is why I like it. And there's like a weird elevation for the enemy team when they're peeking you, when you're pushing that. So it's like, you get a free kill. If you're crosshair, if you practice it enough, you'll get a free kill. I like it so much, sometimes I get predictable and do it like too much. So definitely stay away from doing it a lot. Yeah. Okay. So we've got like 2 setups for C. There's obviously a lot of variations. Like if you play up here, you can like maybe TP. Oh, you can't do that, but there's variations to the setups we found so far. So even though I'm like picking out these setups, if you ever want to use them in game, you can be creative. You can change where you're repositioning with your TP, or I don't recommend moving your trip somewhere too creative because like this just gives a lot of map control. I'm also like same problem with Icebox. There's a lot of like Sova darts and stuff, like preemptively killing the trip at my level. Maybe it's not at your guys' ELO yet, but that's also something to keep in mind. Playing garage, there's a lot of stuff. You can have like a TP on B, trip C or something. Probably trip B. Yeah, I'd probably trip B if you're gonna do this. You can't be aggressive out of double doors. That's the only problem I see with that. Yeah, you can't be aggressive out of double doors. But it's like you can post up somewhere in garage if you guys are having a hard time holding garage as a team. And then you reposition back to B. Yeah, and I'd offset your trip just a little bit. Just a little bit, because sometimes it just like the information's like way too late. Sometimes I like put it like an inch or 2 off the wall, just because sometimes they like, if you don't put it an inch off this wall, like they can peek this still, and I don't like the idea of them being able to peek that as much. Yeah, something to keep in mind. So a passive garage setup. And like you can just TPC window or anywhere else you want. I like the idea of changing your elevation though. I don't know if there's anything I'm missing with this. I know it's like pretty passive, but I think it's decent map control. He's a sentinel now, so more of a sentinel I should say. Sometimes he will have to be passive. I think it's fine. This would be an anchor. You're not doing anything. You're holding it. Your team can even rotate off of C to the other side, and you'll just keep holding garage for information. If that was the case. It's really situational. I hate to say that, and then like VOD review some of you guys later. Be like, oh well, you should have done that. Yeah. Okay. I like the garage. Now there's a lot of stuff we can do on B. Like there's a ton. Like the elevation change and everything. Everything's in this confined area, so yeah. And the TP, I mean the trip, we have a lot of options with too. So trip I'm just gonna take out because you can basically cover the whole map with the trip. It's like normal trips, sort of. So if we wanted to play, we can even play aggressive. Like if we wanted to swing this, so this would be a scenario where you have a jet, or any, I say jet, but any teammate holding window for you. You're trusting your jet to hold window, and then you swing this and catch these people off guard. And you can place your TP over here, garage if you wanted to. It's way riskier because you're swinging people probably going garage, and you're in like a one and done. So I prefer the passive probably, but I think this would work if you wanted to play something super aggressive. But you have to have a teammate here. If not, you're gonna die from window. I do this right now with chamber anyway. And trips are just like normal trips. Yeah, like this is like a normal setup pre-nerf that still works after nerf. One of the few. This is first blood for sure. And in this scenario, I like to flank. Like if I'm pushing up mid and I don't get any contacts, and my teammates are calling a certain site, I'll push flank. I'm already up. I was already trying to play aggressive anyway, so that's a good time to start flanking, especially if you haven't done it a lot yet. All right, so we've done C, B. Oh, actually we haven't finished B. For those joining, I'm open to suggestions. I'm testing out new chamber setups for after the patch. I want to make a video on a bunch of his setups and how he's going to be played. So if any of you guys have suggestions, I'd love to hear them. It'll probably end up in my video. We're just going over like rough ideas. I'm going to touch them all up later when I have the free time. So if we want to play on top of V, there's a so we can, so the thing is we have to TP up here in the first place, and then we have to like, we only have a limited range where we can put this. So it's like, we can like place it up here or place it back behind us, but it's like limited. You can't place it A-link. You can't reach that. So you're probably just stuck playing something like this, which isn't the best, honestly. What are the trip situations looking like? Trips can cover like everything. You're fine with the trip. So it's all right. I'd say you're just holding mid window. Just you're the solo taking, you're solo holding B. And then you can just reposition. You can rotate to whatever site's being attacked. It's not bad. It's nothing special though. Not much. I'm definitely gonna take another look at that and see if I can make that a little better. Maybe you guys have an idea how we'd fix that one up. Because honestly, the repositioning is not good. And there's a high chance that gets broken with utility. And then you don't have a TP the rest of the round. So, yeah, we'll look at that later. I'll look at that later. Let's see here. Like playing any B area, you can just have your TP like anywhere you want. Yeah. For playing sewer, like this, all of the A-link, having your TP A-link still works fine. So this is just still gonna be a really strong spot. It'd be crazy if that worked, but it doesn't. You're TPing to a super dangerous spot anyway. Maybe you can like do something. Nah, that's like a normal setup. I won't take a screenshot of that, but another example of a setup that'll still be really effective after the nerf. I like that. I wonder what's our options on A long. Ooh. We can't. I love the ability to TP and rotate quicker. Now we can't do that. If we're gonna play A long, we're like stuck on site. We're not stuck on site. We would have time to get off a site, play retake. So yeah, I agree. It allows for quick rotates, and that's just gonna be a strong setup for chamber. It always has been. You're really just TPing. You can TP up here, but you're not safe. Like, you use your TP, now you're kind of stuck up here. But you can like move away. But maybe you like, you're up here. Maybe you want to like place a trip behind you or something. So maybe you, alright, hear me out. This is gonna be a little weird, but I kind of like it. So you're playing A long. They might util you out, whatever. Something happens, you TP. You get a kill, you might not. So the idea with this, since we can only like reposition somewhat on site if we want to play aggressive here, we could play up here. You would not do this. You'd probably do this once a game. But you would TP up here. And this trip is only for information. This is just so you can purely focus on sewer. So if this trip goes off, you would hop down off this box and get out. If the trip doesn't go box, you just keep holding sewer and you look for a pick and then you get out. The problem would definitely be your safety, because higher ELO, they're going to trade their teammate and it's going to be a little risky. But I think you can catch someone off guard and then have time to get out. If you're like hugging the edge of this box and just drop down. It's definitely riskier, but unless you just want to TP on site and then like get out, it's the best option, I would say. Yeah, if you get smoked here, and yeah, it is riskier. I would say you would want a teammate sewer. Yeah, wall sewer would be nice. I was thinking, like when I was talking about this, I was thinking you would have someone sewer still, because normally you'll have a teammate doing something sewer, or at least some utility there. Yeah, I wouldn't think you're dead. I think you, like, the time it takes for an enemy, unless they're like a jet dashing or something crazy. A jet dash would kind of screw you. Unless it's a jet neon, something crazy like that. You take a shot, if you get smoked off, you no longer have the option to TP. So you can play here, or you can TP and preemptively be ready to rotate out. But yeah, how about this? I'll do this. I'll do either or. Depends on if you're feeling risky or not. But I can see the problems. And then if in the scenario where you're playing back here, I'd do a better trip. This trip would not be good if you're here. I'd just do a normal default trip. So let me make the trip yellow. This for that setup, and just something else. Sorry about that. Yeah. So, oh, did ValoPlant just crash? Oh, that's being dumb. There's a situation where you just TP and save your anchor with the gold peeking through anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. I actually like that. That's why I wanted to do these, talk about this on stream, because I love having your guys' input. When I first started learning chamber, there's already like so many guides and like pros playing chamber. So I just watched like literally 100 VODs on chamber of pros playing them, and I just found setups that I liked from that. I've never had to like create my own setups, so this is all new to me. Oh no, someone's vacuuming. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Yeah, so what someone in chat just said, who was it? AJX? I haven't seen you in chat. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Ajax. So what he was saying is you'd TP up here pre-round and then just pick up your TP and save it for later, which I like the idea of that. That's not something I've talked about yet. So then you'd just be up here anyway playing sewer. You could trip A long. You probably have someone fighting A long, so trip is super dependent on what your team is doing. So, and then you're playing on site, and then you can do something. Throw your TP back here, and then play another weird angle they're not expecting, or even save it entirely for retake if you wanted to. Something like that. Play retake. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of hard to explain with the screenshot. So how would I remember this? How do I get to text box? There it is. Save TP for, it's not post plant, just save TP. That I'll understand that. Save TP. I really like that idea. Thank you for that one. Low key first blood, honestly. And no, it's hard to say. I don't think the role matters that much. Helps me when I explain them in my video, but geez, so many people calling me. Alright. Anyway, yeah, that's a great concept. One I've only touched on a little bit on like one of the maps last stream. So let's see, is there anything else? What if we like with the chamber TP like being gone the rest of the round if it's broken? I hate putting in like places where people throw grenades and stuff. Like a raise nade ends that TP. Alright, well, maybe they have like brim and they just molly it. Then it's fine. Doesn't give you much flexibility though, off angles wise. Like I don't see any like crazy good off angles. You can kind of play default and just anchor, which isn't bad. And then you trip mid. Can you trip mid from this position? You cannot trip mid from this position. Actually, let's see here. Place your trip back there. Yeah, you can't trip mid. Honestly, I don't like that one that much. How about, oh, I need to go to F11. How about I put something on a note where it's just like, because there's a lot of passive TPs where you can play just some weird off angle, I could just put down multiple anchor TP setups. All with even you could like do something like this. Me personally, I'm going to be playing this a lot more than any of the other ones, but might be good to mix it up. Okay, yes, so it's actually 1 meter. So I've done the testing in the PBE. The real thing is, I think it's even closer. It's like something like that than what's shown here. But yeah, it's accurate. Same with this. This is literally the exact same problem. It's like that. I hopped onto the PBE last stream to explain it to everybody, because I know there's some questions. I should have explained it in my video. I just thought they were gonna fix it right away. I didn't think anybody else was gonna find out, because I got to like making this video pretty early and I saw the typo. I thought they were just gonna fix it, but like they never did. So now everybody knows about it. So I should have just explained it in my video. I overestimated Riot's abilities. Yeah, so I'm gonna write down on my Google Docs lots of anchor TPs where you can play some off angle, and I'll go more in depth about that. And then you can't trip B unless you're playing some like really weird. Then you could trip B, but yeah. Oh, for everyone new, because I know there's a lot of new people now. We've gone through every map so far. We have Haven, and Split left for setups. yeah, so that's the plan for the rest of the stream. We just want to get the rest of these setups down. So Haven, anchoring, A site. I'm a great typer. A site, multiple like passive TPs with off angle. Okay. Aggressive. Oh, you get to see my typos too. Semi-aggressive off angles. I'm an engineering major. Grammar is my worst skill. Yeah, you guys can probably tell I'm an engineering major just from the way I talk and act. Bit of a nerd. Yeah. Alright, so like some passive setups on A. Nothing too crazy here. You could play up here. Yeah, I think we got A down. We can go on to attack. Are you also going to college, Leonardo? I haven't seen you in the stream yet, so welcome. Yeah. So this is one of the stronger pushes, I believe, for chamber. A long's not the best, but this still is super viable. You have a little variation you can do, but I'll just stick to that. So yeah. Let's see what we can do on attack. On defense, A short aggro. Yeah, sewer. Right? I think we're talking about the same thing. Pushing sewer. Let's see. There's I think. Well, okay. Well, there's not a lot of options C long unless. Let's first talk about C long. So there's a couple problems I see right off the bat. So one of the best things about chamber was his trip he could place. Like, I love the trip right here. This is like one of my favorite trips. But like it's very clearly not in the range of C unless you're playing some super passive, which is not best for your team because you probably need to help them get on site. Chamber TP has limited range. Yes. So this circle is his range minus like this. That's if that's what you're asking. No height restrictions, limited range. So the immediate problem is, unless he's playing really passive C long, which I don't recommend, the trip can't be placed here. So you're gonna have to live with limited information, and you're just gonna have to, like, even that is kind of far back. Like, you can play back here and be fine, but if you're like limited in options, like you can't push up here. So you got to decide what you want to do and if you want to do either or of those TPs. So I'm going to put that down here. Oh, that TP's, I mean, that trip's so bad. Is that really all we have? Like, this trip doesn't do anything for your team. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get, what I normally do is like go down like the left side and look at every choke point. Even though I'm going over this, these setups might not be viable. Like I'm gonna look at C, and if I don't find anything, I don't find anything. But it's more like systematic. It's a more systematic approach. Sorry about that. Okay, so for C, I definitely think our best option, like even being aggressive with it, is kind of risky because of enemy utility. It's not the worst thing that could happen. No, it's not the best either. Probably post plant. Yeah, I don't see a lot of value chamber could get going C long. Like, even like if he plays back here with that op, it's not even that good anyway. So unless you wanted to do some like aggressive post, like it's smoked, they don't expect you to push. It's not like, that's not, don't recommend that, but it's just an option. Throwing things out there. Post plant C. Is the alarm bot range the same? Oh, it doesn't show me. I wish it did. I wasn't sure if it's the same or not, so I'm just using the KO knife. That would be nice though if it was the same. Yeah, literally he's a duelist without utility if you go C-long. Like you're betting off the fact that you stay alive and you might provide some value with post plant. So like, I'm not even gonna take a screenshot of this because I don't think it's viable. There might be some weird TP you can do. It doesn't give you much range, so let's try out Garage. Unless there's any objections. Do you guys think there's anything on C I'm missing? I don't really think there's much. Yeah. So if we go Garage, he had someone say the trip would still work, and I'm curious. It depends on how passively we're playing in Garage. Like how much we want to. Yeah, he honestly wasn't that good on C anyway. You're right. Like I would be lurking most of the time. If my team's going C, we'll try to cover some lurking setups, but I would normally like find some hole and lurk. Garage wise, I don't go Garage much as chamber, admittedly, so I'm not familiar with what would be good here. Trip wise, you could play this, but that's like the trip's definitely the biggest nerf. Like look at the range. You do not want to pass the trip range. You can't, because that's very valuable to your team. So I hate to like say you have to anchor up and like anchor Garage, play some off. You sit here in a rat angle playing Garage, and then someone just walks double doors and kills you. Like, I don't know how viable that is either. Top box C. Yes. We just covered all the defenses. Yeah. There's still some good stuff for on top of C. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Garage. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't see anything. You're just limited. The best option, if your team wants to NC, you can go in without utility, or you can lurk. If you go Garage, you can trip Garage and move forward. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Yep, because that tripping Garage is actually really valuable. I've used that my fair share of times. Like I said, I don't push Garage that much, but I've definitely seen it used in pros gameplay too. Yeah, that gives you a lot more options actually. Like even if you wanted to push, like even get more aggressive here, you can throw your TP like back here or something. That's a little wild. Your teammates are gonna smoke this for you anyway, so that's probably not the best. I'd just push on site, play it safe, help your team take site, play some post plant. All right, I'm taking a screenshot of that. I like that. Bro's clutch, AJX. I appreciate the input. So honestly, what would be a good post plant? You don't have anybody C long, so they could flank C long. So I'm hesitant to put it somewhere exposed to C long. But maybe you have a teammate down there. Maybe you play it like box. Play it on top of box. And you're just holding CT. Defender side spawn. Some weird angle. Not exposed to C long. Or you're even holding C spawn if your team doesn't want to. And then you TP on this box and you can swing the right side of the box and peek it. They would not expect that. They probably expect you to be TPing somewhere down there. It leaves you exposed if they go through Garage or C long though. I'm going to put it red that we can like, there's like a big area like that I like with the TP. Any spot like in that vicinity I'd say is a pretty viable TP. Yeah, that's a good one. That would be, honestly I'd call that second entry. You're helping your team get on. It's not like fully that roll. I'm gonna have to mess around with the rolls because these rolls are all pre-nerf, and I think his rolls have changed. So. Okay. That's a good one. I accidentally got rid of chamber. Let's see here. Yeah, let's move on to B. We can save lurking for last. Oh, I'm not full screen. I always forget. Okay. Let's see. What if... What trips do we have? Before we can start figuring out where we want our TPs, what trips do we like? I think we gotta first determine the trips. What if we... Tripping double doors? It's not the most valuable trip, but it gives you a lot more space. But your team has to worry about a lot more. Let me see the range. But then that covers this too. Like it's not bad. It'll probably get broken, but at least you know someone shot it. That gives you the most space if you want to push onto B. And just do something. Maybe you want to place your TP. Probably place it safer, like over here. But you're like getting super aggro and you're a psychopath. You want to push this. Like it gives you the option to if you want to. Maybe you combo it with some of your team's utility. Maybe you probably have a breach on Haven. He might stun A-Link and you like do your thing. Same with C-Link. It's not like really safe TPs. Probably that. That's the safest TP. And it gives you like enough space to work with. So let's say that. Let's say we're gonna go with that. I'm gonna add a note. And play aggro with team utility. That'd be the only time I would like try to make some plays over here because it's way more risky. Oh, I have the wrong. Let me put the KO thing in here so we know it's in range. And low-key, we could also, depending on how far we push, tripping window is still an option, which is not bad. Oh, that's a really good point. This is one of the flexibility things I mentioned as chamber with this update. It's a big range. He can do a lot. Like, someone just said, wow, dude, AJX, man, I appreciate you. You're like, you're pretty good at this. A lot of good stuff. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, he was saying the increased flexibility of this trip too, because you can go garage and you still, because you haven't used your TP yet, you got sight. There's the added chance that the added option, you can go garage and do a little flank or something. Where previously you couldn't do that with chamber. Once your TPs are down, you're playing that spot. Yeah, flexibility versus mobility. Good stuff. I forget if I screenshotted this, so I'm gonna screenshot it again. That would be attacking. I would say second entry. Haven. Wait, did I put the... I think I put the wrong ones. Yeah, I put it in the wrong sections. I'll fix that later. You guys don't need to worry about that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. For new people stopping by, right now we only have split left. We're almost done with Haven. We still have to go over A. We're just going over new TP setups for the new patch that's releasing tomorrow. We want to experiment. I'm going to be releasing a video on this shortly. I say shortly, but it's exam week for me, so I won't have too much time to pursue that. I just want to get your guys' opinions. It's really helpful for me because you guys can see things that I might overlook. So by the time I'm done with this in my video, I'm gonna have to like credit AJX or whatever your YouTube is. I'm gonna be like, half the setups made by yeah. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty strong. Is there anything else? I think B's fine. Lurking wise, like lurking wise, he's still like pretty good. Like you can control all of this. You can control all of A, hold any angle you want, and then like say your team's going B, you still can fight in the window, like post plant, and you're in range, so you can trip C too. So like there's only 3 spots. Like you caught everything else. There's only 3 spots your team will have to worry about in this scenario. Double, C-Link, and A-Link. And they have smokes for C-Link and A-Link. So I don't know. That's a passive spot to play, but you can like get a little aggro over here if you wanted to. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do this. I do a similar thing. One that's a little more there's a lot more I do with this normally. Like I can push up and then TP back if I want to. Oh, lurk. It's not like truly a lurk. I don't know if you guys see anything wrong with that, but you're relying on your teammates getting sight because you're not helping with sight. But all right, what if it's not really good lurk C long? Dang, I can't do my favorite. Let's see if we can figure out something. So the team's going A. We're picturing this jet is our whole team. There's 4 people here. They're going A. You're tripping C, or you might even have to trip this. It depends on what your limitations are. You're doing some trip, and you want mid control, so you're pushing here. Is there any? I don't think there is. Previously, I liked playing something like this. They'll normally like half peek this. Like at my level, they clear this angle for sure, but they're like not like fully like consciously clearing it. So I have like a little advantage on them. So I would like have a TP here, have a TP here, then I would TP and help my team. But I don't think there's anything we can do with this because we can't TP safely. Into that farther strip, you can lurk window farther back and pick them. Yes. If you mean pushing through garage, I normally don't like. There'll be someone garage or something holding garage, like utility wise. In C lobby, the notch. Oh, yeah. But it still runs into, oh yeah, I like that. Oh wait, maybe oh. Okay. Yeah, that would work too. It's really, I'm gonna like work out all the nitty gritty, like the general setups. So like the idea of playing, and then I'm gonna like mark all of the potential trips later. So I don't want to get in too in depth with this. Kind of want to keep it fast. Yeah, I don't see any opportunity to play B safely. Like, do some lurk on B safely. Unfortunately. A seems pretty straightforward, I would say. A long isn't the best. You don't have anything you can do here. But if you go sewer, like if you want to push with your team, on A, you can go sewer, and that gives you a decent amount of space to go. I think the biggest thing is your ability. It's going to be close, but I bet you still have the ability to hold a crossfire here, post plant. And you just do a trip back here because you're in the range. Just something like here, just to get information. Yeah, I like that. I think that's fine. The range on this is a little smaller, so it might not work. It might have to be, it'll be close. But the idea of this, I like. You don't have much space over here you can move safely, but you can help take site. And of course there's like, yeah, there's some variations to this one as well. That would be second entry, because the main point of that TP is definitely to help get site. And it's just got decent post-plant abilities. So I'm actually tempted to remove the multi-frag role. So multi-frag is... Alright, here, I'll show you what multi-frag is. Because this is actually... This would have been on my 6,000 word document video. Like, I was going to go through all these roles, but now the roles are changed. And I've got to figure out what I want to name certain roles. Okay, so the multi-frag role is a spot where you're playing aggressive or just an off angle in general. And you're going to TP to another off angle. It's not the safest, but the whole point of that is you're taking early aggression or some like angle that's important, and you're getting there and TPing to another angle that you can apply more pressure. So you're going for multiple frags in a sense. There's still some setups with the new chamber that fulfill that role, but there's not many. So I might have to like change how I approach chamber when I talk about his roles. We'll see. I'm probably gonna wait a while before I do like another big guide on chamber in case they do something crazy. And I want to see how pros play him. So yes, so on attack, I like sewer and a trip over here. I think I already screenshotted that. Let me check before I move on. Yeah, I screenshotted that. Is there anything else we see for attack on A? Is there anything we like? Yes, the bigger diameter does help him play more off angles. Like, he can literally play, he can hold a crossfire with hell just from this TP, which is nice. It's gonna be close, but a lot more options. The area is bigger, but at the same time less options, because if he wants to play aggressive, his TP's not that far away from him, so he's TPing somewhere dangerous still. And the trip range, like I honestly don't see chamber playing super aggressive on A, like anywhere over here, just because the value of his trip goes down so much. So I feel like he's definitely gonna have to stay passive. Not like he's on site, so it's not passive, but yeah, I don't see much else because A long doesn't. I don't see how this is that good. It's not much to work with. Tweck Melon, bro, you're the one who plays chess. Who are you talking to? This dude's calling me a nerd. He's a frequent in my Discord. In one of my Discords. He's calling me a nerd. Plays chess 24/7. Good to have you here, though. Yes, I'm kind of excited to go over Split. Oh, also, Edwin, nice to have you. I see you're first time chatter. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, we're going over Split next. Low key, I might want to look for some lurking, but we're kind of done with Haven. We've got quite a few setups for Haven. So. Oh, all right. It was good having you. Hopefully you'll be back soon. I should be streaming for quite a while, so. All right, let's see here. Is there any more lurking things we can do? That's my favorite. That's my favorite thing to do. I'm not seeing it. You can like play this, but it's like really passive. You're banking on someone pushing. Yeah, I'm interested to see what changes they do the Split, because I'm assuming they're gonna. Yeah, thank you, Tanner. Or Twex. I guess I should call you Twex. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Split. It should be interesting. I'm ready for the new map too. I'm really excited for the new map. I've been wanting to play on a new map lately so badly. Especially like, I don't know, it's just refreshing. It's refreshing. New maps my favorite. I don't care for new agents as much as new maps. Until they take out Breeze, which was my favorite map. Unpopular opinion, Breeze is super nice to play on. Alright, let's go to Split. We're talking about it. Yeah, let's hit the Split. Oh, there's gonna be so much here. My brain's gonna hurt. So many different elevations. Oh my gosh. This is like a map where we almost have to wait and see, because there's gonna be a lot of cool things. Where do we even start? Do we want to start on defense or attack? Up to you guys. I'm fine with either. Oh no. I guess you're on winter break, Edwin. I still have 2 weeks until my winter break. It sucks. Like, I should be studying for my exams right now. I don't know what I'm doing here. Alright, we'll do defense first then. What's up, Nathan? Good to see you. Good to see you. Alright, defense. Defense it is. Let's start left side. Let's go B. Oh, we can be aggressive. Let's go. Yeah, Split's gonna be strong. So it's gonna be strong with chamber. Like, the trips, we can still trip over here. We can still do any trip. We can't do opposite map trips, but like, there's lots of trips we can do. Honestly, don't even need to worry about trips. They're just gonna be normal trips that we can use. So you can still play aggressive. Like, we can peek this. I know it's definitely an ego peek unless you use some like utility, teammate utility with it. But you can still play aggressive here. I like that. I don't like that as much, but what if we play some off angle? Okay, you risk the flash and then you TP up here. And then you're kind of exposed to tower. Maybe not. Maybe not that. It's not a bad thing. You can play something with that. Okay. One thing I definitely would do. We can TP up here. And I think we're fine. I think we can reach that. TP here and then do a safe TP there. Op or Headhunter. Op preferably. I'm going to use this setup. I already know I will. You can TP back here, but utility gets stumped back here, so it's not very safe, and your TP can get broken. It's hard to say if it'll reach. You might have to like hug this. It'll be close. Yeah, people are overreacting. He's still gonna be meta on certain maps. They're just like, I don't know, they expected him to be like OP forever, and now they're freaking out that he's balanced and not OP. It's interesting. I said it earlier, but I think he's a high B. High B or low A on a tier list. Definitely viable still. Especially with people who have put a lot of hours in with him. Okay, I like this. I'm not sure how far you can put that TP, but I think it'll work. I love that off angle. And you can like play like super back, super far over there. We're on split. I put Haven. Yeah, I'll fix it all up. Split defense. We'll do... This is not necessarily first blood. I'll put it under first blood for now. But it's not that... Honestly, it's anchor, but... Yeah, B-ish. I saw, I don't know if any of you guys watched Thinking Man's Valorant. He's really good. I liked his tier list. I thought it was pretty accurate. I hate that his thumbnail was in my video where I said I don't overreact like these YouTubers, because he doesn't overreact. His YouTube video is pretty fair. Maybe a little overreact-ish, but he said he would still be viable. Okay, so back of B, and honestly, anywhere back site is viable. Like, there's all these angles you can still play, and just have your TP safe. So I'm gonna like any TP like that is fine. The downside with this TP is you're exposed to tower, which mid's important. They're gonna have mid pressure. So you're gonna need a trip here, and a teammate. Trip and a teammate. You could do trip only, but the trip goes off. Right when that trip goes off, you need to get out. You need to immediately back out of there, whether that's TPing or walking, just because, I mean, you don't have to get out, but if you don't get out, you're in a one and done scenario. So it depends on how you want to look at it. But I think like any TP on site allows so many off angles that you can just reposition somewhere else. So, but trip tower. Oh, I forgot to say what's up, Eli. I know you're new. I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I agree. that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll when I make my video, instead of like putting it in that big area, I'm gonna like work out what the actual best spots are to put the TP. But for now, I'm just gonna say that general area is good. Is there any like cool? Ooh, what if we do some? We can't like rotate fast. Like, I like the idea of being back here and being able to rotate fast, and you're just holding this angle. But then if they actually go B, you're not providing that much value. So maybe not. To everyone new, this is the last map of the list. Might play Valorant after this, haven't decided. There's some VOD reviews I could probably do of students. I don't know how big of a mood I'm in for that right now. We'll see later. I do like the idea of his TP being tower though, because look how many angles he can play. Like, look at this huge area. Like, all very important angles he could hold. He can play mid. He can peek this. It's probably smoked or whatever, but then he can jump down here because there's no elevation change. You could have a trip wherever you want. You'd probably want a teammate holding vents so they can't push mid while your TP's up here. But like, then you have all of this to play with, and there's no height restriction. Your TP's way up here, you can still TP. So I like the idea of anywhere in tower, just because it covers so much. It's a little risky, that TP, but it's probably smoke, so when you TP, you're fine. I could even venture to say over here, if you have someone Vince. Something tower. What's safe TP do you guys see tower? Because I like it, but it's pretty open. It's pretty open. He's got a lot of options he can do. But it's pretty exposed. I'll put this down. Need to if you do this setup, you're probably gonna need to combo with teammates, because you're gonna need that extra map control so nobody can kill you when you TP, because you can only hold one side, realistically. Honestly, I haven't played Split in so long. I don't even, this might be safe. Like, honestly, that TP might be safe. I forget if there's like a wall here or something. I think there is a wall that you can like shoot through. So realistically, that might be safe. B stairs and stand next to bomb to watch mid. Stand next to bomb. Okay, so B stairs. Oh, like male? You could sit male in this scenario. And you can also still go up there. It's safer. Yeah, that is much safer. And you have, yeah, and you have the option. I don't know if this is what you're talking about. You can correct me. But you also have the option to go up here, which is pretty risky, but you have your TP, so like you can take the risk. Box, not bomb. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. The stairs is safe, and it still has the range. The only worry would be you kind of have to put your TP like up here a little bit, because the range is going to be something like that. So maybe even closer, but still playable. And you have a lot you can do on B. Mid might be mid will be strong with chamber. He can hold a lot of space. Honestly, he doesn't even really need the combo with teammates as much, but oh, actually, I'm going to note the other. Somewhere over here is also possible. It'll be much easier to look at this tomorrow when it actually gets released. I have the PBE, but it was super laggy, so I haven't been on it much. Like laggy for you guys. Yeah, I like that tower setup. I'm on Haven. Split. This is first blood. If you play mid, this is considered first blood. If you're peeking mid. It's honestly a little bit of everything, just because there's so much versatility with that. Yes, it is easier to counter him. In the sense that once you see him, he has to be close. Like once you see him and he TPs, he has to be close by. So in that sense, he is easier to counter in a way. But it also, in the other point of view, is there's also more places he could be, just because the range is bigger. There's more like viable places he could be. But he's more punishable if you're a little too crazy with your setups, which I'm not trying to be too aggressive or anything. Me personally, I like to show some aggression, so it is harder though because you can't TP very far away, so that aggression can be punished. Okay, so B tower looks pretty good. Yeah, like honestly, it's a little risky, but it does cover a lot. Like if he's playing here, you know, like the TP can only be in like this little area, unless he like does something Vince, which I was just about to get to. It's definitely riskier to like blind ult a chamber though. All right, let's go to Vince. I forget what that's called. It's not called Vince, but it's been a while. trip wise, you can do some stuff on B, like mid B tower, and you can do stuff A main. Trips are pretty okay. I would say for anyone new just joining, feel free to like give me any ideas you guys have. I've gotten a lot of good ideas from viewers so far, so be active. I appreciate it. So if we were to play Vince, you can't really, yeah, you can't put your TP tower and play Vince. You can do it vice versa. Honestly, the rotation is going to be, like, you're going to be tight on time if you do this. If you put your thing Vince and then play here, and you're kind of low-key exposed. But you can't do it vice versa. So if you want to play over here, you're kind of limited to your TP, honestly. You can do like something stairs if we wanted to. No, you can't, because there's a barrier here. You can do stairs, but like over here, it won't really allow you. Stairs is viable. It doesn't put you in the best spot. Like it's really safe, but you're not in like the best area. That's viable. And you can also do, I kind of like a trip somewhere over here, because you can play some off angle where you're just holding this. They're gonna smoke you most likely, so. But you can play some off angle, just holding this, getting information until they smoke you or do whatever, and you'll have to figure out a different game plan. And you, with the TP's range, you have the flexibility. Oh, there's no one mid, or there's let's say, I'm gonna pull a little, give a little situation. You have like 1 or 2 people on A, and you have someone mid and someone B. So you like peek this a little bit, no presence mid, and your teammates are calling out a lot of pressure on A. If you place your TP here, you have the option to like, now you can play ramps. You can even like peek A almost, which is really crazy to think about. And you can leave mid because you have your teammate B tower, and now they've got mid, so you're not losing map control because your teammates got it. And you can help fight the presence that they've seen on A. And then the presence goes away, you can just go back mid. It's the flexibility thing I was talking about. He can do multiple things with one TP. So, and it's like semi vice versa, where it's a little less. But like if he wanted to like peek this, it's hard to work out if you can actually see A main from here. But if he wanted to peek this and there's no presence A main after peeking this, he can then go fight mid and still have his TP. So I like the idea of that. So there's two good TPs, there and there, and then trips are just like default trips, normal trips for split. So if you want to play, Vince looks pretty promising. I kind of like it. That's first blood. Yeah, it's weird. Like the roles I give him aren't really the same because he's like kind of doing multiple roles with one setup because it's so different. Where previously you could only do one role per setup. Yeah. All right, let's move on to A. Oh, I love opting screens. Let's see if we can get something for that. Yeah, there's a lot. Like, there's a pretty big area you have to work with. We can't put the TP here. That's not a good TP. You're TPing into people. That just won't work. What if we do something different? I don't know if you guys have done this before, but this is one of my favorites off angles wise. You're gonna crouch right here. They might do some map reworks. I don't know if this will still work. And then your line of sight is perfectly aligned like that. It's supposed to be a straight line, but you guys see the point. And you're opping, you're crouched down, sitting in this super weird spot. And you're gonna get a kill here. I mean, unless you miss, which we all miss sometimes, so it's not a big deal. But then you just TP back. I think it's fine. This is gonna be one of the ones we're gonna have to wait and see, like test out, because that's like really close, super close. I think if you put it farther over here, it's better. Maybe TP screens, well elbow. Let me figure that out. While, I'm assuming you mean while elbow. Is this elbow? What's elbow? Is this, what's elbow? Okay, so that's elbow. Yeah, that's definitely viable. Yeah, putting your TP screens, anywhere screens, you can play a couple different angles. That's like different, but it's not, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, that vision's cut off. You can't do that. So I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna say multiple, and you can even play like, do something even weirder. And okay, I'm gonna put multiple chambers down just because there's multiple spots you can play. These are the 3 spots you could play while still TPing screens. So let's mark that down. Or wait, there's even elbow, like he was saying. I'll just remember that. Yeah, so TP screens is fine. Let's see here. What is this considered? It's anchor. You're playing passively. You're holding long eagles, so I'm gonna add a note. Preferably with op. And can also go elbow. Alright, I like that. Anything else you guys are seeing? Alright, let me look. I see a lot of opportunities with ramps. This would be one of the multi-frag situations where like you can put it safer. You can try that too. Safer probably is better. And then you just play ramps like the typical way. Yeah, safer is better. But like if you're gonna play ramps, probably put it so here so you can play vents too. Which I already covered, so I won't take a screenshot. Could you TP in vents and peek, then peek ramp? Yeah, so with the vents, if you're playing vents, I wouldn't TP. I would save your TP and then just walk and then peek ramps, because then you still have your TP, and vice versa. Like it works both ways. So let's find a different one. I already got that one. Is there any A main aggression we can show? We could. All right, hear me out, guys. We're buying judges. We buy a judge and we push A main and TP, and then we can do whatever we want. I don't use the judge. Probably not. Let's mark that one off the list. I don't think anybody wants to use the judge. Or headhunter too. Like if you're good enough with the headhunter, there's like an elevation change because there's a ramp, but you'd shoot one in TP, especially on like an eco or something. Low-key might be viable. You can't do anything crazy. I'm gonna Venture. Ooh. What do you guys think about this one? I really like this one. This is one of the multi-frag. It's less it's a little less aggressive than some other ones I've seen, but you're gonna play a main, headhunter, whatever, and then you TP ramps, and then maybe you have a teammate up here that throws utility. Like you could have a KO that long flashes or something, and then you swing a main. Because I'm sure there's like a KO long flash for a main. And then you TP here, you say, hey, flash, do your long flash a main, and you swing off of that. Combo with flash. Actually, there might be stuns. You might have a breach stun. Breach might be playing mid Vince and something. You might stun it, and you can swing it. Combo. I'm going to do combo with utility. And I like that. It's aggressive and you can get punished, but it's all about mixing it up. Try it once a game, and if it's not working out, don't have to. That's a multi-frag. Okay. So we got some aggression A main. Let me get rid of that for now. Is there any angles you guys like? Because I was pretty... Admittedly, I did not get too creative on split, just because there's like some solid setups that I did that didn't need creativity. Like, is playing behind a box... Playing behind that box like an actual thing people do? Surely not. Is there any like... What if we play on top? So let's look for some elevation changes. We can play on top of that. But then our reposition TP is like right behind us. It's very punishable. You gotta raise double satcheling. You gotta raise that double satchels on the site. An enemy raise, not a teammate raise, but you're dead. So I don't know how I feel about that. I do like the idea of just being able to play down here and TPing tower, having that ability. But you need some teammates holding ramps because they could be pushed up ramps. So, yeah. Let me think. What we have... We will put it down as a maybe. I'm going to put it down as a maybe, and we can move on to attacking. There's going to be some good lurk. I think there's going to be some good lurk setups, so I want to move on to attacking. Put this down as a maybe. For those joining, we're just going over potential chamber setups. I want to make a video about this in the future after exams. I'm going to wait to do it so I can see like pro gameplay and how they're choosing to use them. But I want to go over like the main setups that are going to come after the update. Yeah. And I'd love to have you guys' opinion. It helps me out a ton because I can look over things pretty easily. What would he... This would be like a... Kind of like an anchor. I'm going to call this an anchor. Oh, we're getting cluttered here. A lot of setups. I need to look at Twitch chat more. I'm only focused on YouTube. It's my bad, Twitch chat. Okay. Yeah, let's go to attack. Let's start on B. I don't see many like aggro TPs. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I was about to say there's no good aggro TPs, but honestly, it gives you the option to kind of like push down here. It's not that good either. You don't have that much space to work with. It's almost better to like fight this kind of dry, like you do anyway with chamber. Like when you're pushing, you would fight this dry anyway. So I'm just gonna leave that down as like probably not good, but maybe it's something I'll have to mess around with. So let's say we're pushing on to B with our team. What does that look like? Maybe a Viper Wall. I haven't played freaking Split in so long. What? We're talking maybe a Viper Wall. And maybe smoke. We'll just assume that. So now we clear sight. We have all the space to work with. Really don't have all the space to work with. Ideally on Split, what a lot of people get wrong, especially in lower ranks, is like they'll have a Sage and they'll wall this off, and then all the space they have is this, which is really bad. Like one Raze nade takes off half of this, and then you guys are here, and then like a Sage slow takes off all of this. So it like puts your team in a really bad post plant scenario. So like when you're playing Split on B, you're gonna want to take all of this. You want to take the whole site. Heck, you could have someone pushing up there if you want to. It'll just make holding post plant so much easier. So we're gonna assume that you guys do the right thing and like get all of site. Let's see what setups we can do post plant. Trips, I think the typical trips are fine. You might have to like put them back a little deeper, but you won't have to worry about garage. So there'll be a trip there. Maybe we have like our TP. Let's assume garage is safe. We're gonna assume garage is safe. We could have someone play back there too, if we really wanted to, if we don't trust our trip enough. Let's get rid of this fireball for now. I think I got it visually down. So this is all safe. We can have just a TP where but that doesn't give us like any, I want to find a rat angle. That's what I want. So that's wall bangable. They hear us TP. Are they wall banging that? What do you guys think? They wall bang that for sure, right? They definitely do. Okay, so we can't do that. That might get utiled out. That might get utiled out. Oh no. What post plant do we have? We really just... Yeah, we really probably just play back here. How does that look? I think we have our TP back there, and then we just push here. Even though it's probably going to be smoked or something. I think we push there and just try to get a pick, and then TP back. I think that's probably the best option. The util thing's a problem. I think you just risk it. I think anywhere on site, there's chance of it breaking because of util. I hate how it's broken for the whole game, whole round. I think I like that for post plant. I'm gonna throw a spike down. You guys have whole map, so let's just say you plant out in the open somewhere. There's a trip back here. Oh wait, if we do that, trip's gonna have to be super deep. It still gives you information, but trip's gonna have to look like that instead. It's not the worst thing in the world. Let's see, what's it looking like? I can see it from so far away. Let's do this. Let's just figure out what the best area is. Somewhere over there. This will be a good post plant setup for chamber. This post plant, I should have that roll in here. Maybe I don't. Oh, wait, it's attack. Support, second entry. We're gonna put it under support. Post plant TPs for chamber, like, they're situational in the sense that it really depends on what the other team is doing. Like, if you guys are, no, we didn't do chamber setups on split. This is actually the last map I have left. And then we're done. We could review some, but low-key I might hop on Valorant. I don't know. So like I was saying, the problem with post plant, it's situational. If you're gonna do this, it depends on the other team. Because you'd only do this if you guys are not getting contested at the choke point with like a ton of pressure. Like, there's not a ton of pressure here. And they're kind of like letting you guys have sight and playing back a little bit, which some teams do. And if you notice that start to become a trend, then you'll just save your TP. Because like, if they're letting you have this, you don't want to waste your TP. Because there's no point. Save it so where you can actually get value post plant. So that's how I'd look at that setup. Is there any good mid? I had a lot of requests for split yesterday, but I never actually did split. Just because they're gonna change the map. So I hate to like do this honestly, but I'm sure it won't be, the changes won't be that big to where they'll change the setups that much. Let's go. I need to get a better water. I do that like 20% of the time. Okay, so mid. Let's see, what do we have here? Ooh. Oh, no. That would be cool if we had that ability, but the true TP range is something like that. So I don't think that works. Yes, I totally agree. There's so many elevation things that we were talking about with like vents, tower. It's a chamber map. So as a chamber main, I'm excited for split to come back. I'm sad Breeze is going, but after the update, chamber won't even be good on Breeze. So won't be that good on Breeze. Mid-wise, does he like, if they're playing mid hard, which a lot of teams do, maybe you do just throw a TP somewhere over here and just use it for mid. It's not, I don't like it that much. It's cool to think of something like that, but nah. And then a Raisinade comes in here and blows it up. That would be terrible. What if you push a little bit deeper? Do you mean something like this? Like, they might stage well this anyway, so they give up this control. Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you too much to work with tower. Like, maybe you even fight all of mid dry and then save your TP for tower. And then you trip. And your choices for trips, you still can trip garage because you're in the range, or you can trip like something mid. So then you don't have to worry about like rotations coming through mid. Yeah, I agree. So yes, let's see here. Let's go ahead and, there's multiple trips we can do from this. I don't know, something to hold mid. And then there's multiple TPs. You can do like a TP here. I'd put the TP here if there's always pressure events and you guys are just having struggled, or you're struggling taking tower. But that one's not as good as something like this where you can push up. You have a lot more space you can make. Yeah. And it meant to be here because that way you can place it and then fight for tower. It was over there. I just realized, but that way you can fight for tower and you have space. So I like this. I think this will be pretty strong. Mid's important anyway. Chamber can lock down once you get that space. I would consider that second entry, just because you are pushing, even though you're pushing it somewhat dry. Oh, also, thanks for stopping by, Joe. Pretty sure you're new. I didn't see you. I don't think I remember you from last stream, so I appreciate it. Oh, and I didn't even notice. Also, thank you, Avi, for stopping by. Yeah, chamber is definitely still gonna be strong. With split. Definitely high B. Okay, so B tower. Yeah, I like that. If you put it anywhere else, then you're like fighting too much dry. I like the idea of being able to fight tower with the TP. Alright, now let's say you want to go through vents. Is there anything for this? What trips do you have available? You don't need to trip that. You'd probably save your trip after mid control. Would you save your trip for after mid control? Would that be something that's useful? And then you could like put your TP in vents. I don't know, that's a hard one. Vents is interesting because you still have this trip. I don't know where we'd want, where would the trip get the most value if your team wants to end A and you're going through mid? Yeah, I'll probably end up playing other agents other than chamber. It's actually hard to say. I enjoy chamber so much. It depends if I'm like tryharding. I've been playing Valorant too seriously because I've been like super busy with school and YouTube. But if I'm ever making a push or ever want to get my rank higher, I'd probably play other agents. But it's also cool to have your identity be chamber as a content creator. I guess vent entrance. Yeah, it does give you opportunities. Like anything here does give you quite a bit of map. And then you would have to put your trip somewhere here so you're not worried about someone going through when you TP back. So you need some trip. Probably like a trip. Let me see the range. Like they're gonna break it, but it's just for information, so. Yeah. Yeah. I personally don't play KO a whole lot. He's got a pretty different playstyle from chamber. I try to keep playstyles similar. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, Carsogenesis. Appreciate it. Yeah, I try to keep my playstyles similar. That makes sense. Yeah. What are we thinking? Because the TP definitely has to go down somewhere here so you can fight this. So maybe like that's too far back. I would say this would be the best, and that gives you a lot of space. You can take a lot of space with that. I think that'd be best. Before I do this, anywhere mid for the trip. It's hard to say what's the best spot, but let's see. That would be the second entry for sure. Ideally, you're pushing that with someone. You don't have to, but recommended, just because mid's usually fairly contested. Yeah. Okay, so you've got garage, tower, vents. Maybe there's something we want to do A main. We'll do lurking setups after we do A main. if I don't get a ValoPlant sponsor in the next month or two, when I become like a bigger creator, I'm gonna be so sad. Everybody's learning what ValoPlant is from me. How big? It's 1 meter bigger. I think it was like 7 meters radius. 7. I've tested it in the PBE, and the actual range of the TP is like that. And when I looked at it like 2 days ago, I did the math, and it was like 1 meter. Same with the trip. The trip's like 2 meters smaller, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I need to contact ValoPlant, but because I'm sure like half of you guys didn't even know what ValoPlant was until you've seen my videos, stuff. But I don't think they make money from this. I guess there's like a pro thing where they can make money. So, alright, let's focus on A main. No, it's a little smaller than the dagger, unfortunately. Yep. So trip-wise, trips are gonna be pretty standard. Okay. Like that's just a easy TB. You just take sight. You hope take sight. Maybe a raise nade breaks that, which scares me a little bit. But the raise nade, I think the raise nade normally goes over here. Like it's been like months since I've played split. But if I remember correctly, it's not that dangerous for that to be there. Okay, yeah. So I think that would be a good setup and just the default trips. It's pretty boring. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. We'll find something a little bit cooler here in a second. Or try to at least. I'm sure there's something we can do with ramps. A lot of second entry for chamber. So far at least. Alright, what do we want to do with ramps? So there's no elevation restriction. What are we looking at here? Oh, I looked over at my camera. How do I fix that? Need better lighting. 1 second. I look pale. I don't know. We'll just keep it dim. Just chilling. Okay, so what if TP up here doesn't bring us any value? Admittedly. So the only reason I would put my TP up there is if they're like fighting this really, like there's a lot of utility and a lot of people playing ramps and A main, because the TP's safe up here because it won't be broken by utility and it's like cornered off in a way. So this would be a perfectly fine TP. It has less flexibility than this one because you can't go on site, but it lets you go up ramps. So I should have just put a dot. I'm gonna take another screenshot of it. So this one, and this one's good for ramps. I'll mark that one. Now what if we want to push up ramps? We could push up ramps, dry, and then throw a TP like over here. This is risky. That's wall bangable, first off. Second off, if you're playing this, you're taking like a fight really close. If they're like really close, UTP, the update has him taking out his gun really slowly. So they're gonna kill you. Like, if you do that, they're gonna kill you. So probably not. I don't see an aggressive TP being successful tower. Because even if you like take this dry and haven't placed your TP yet, there's not many places to like place your TP where you're safe. It's like you can't place it anywhere over here because of screens. Over here is risky because of their spawn, and anywhere over here is risky because of vents. So I think the best if you want to play ramps is just playing something over here, and then you can like come here if you want and hold screens for your team and have someone hold tower. I'm gonna put that down actually. I'm gonna say if you play this position, sorry about that. You're gonna have someone hold tower and you're gonna push through ramps. You can take all of this and then you could post up there if you wanted to. And you can also like post up somewhere over here if you wanted the whole tower. Yeah. I'm gonna put that in. Any problems you guys see with that? Is there anything I'm missing? There's a trip over here. So that's not a big deal. They're covering you tower and you're holding screens. I feel like it's fine. You're gonna get there's gonna be some problems when you push this part because you're gonna have to fight this without having your ability to TP. So it's interesting to see how that would play out. But I think that'll be fine. Split. What are we at? I want to say, yeah, it's weird because these setups I'm finding are like combinations. I guess I've already said that, so I won't say it again. I wish I could see how many like new people are in chat so I can like explain everything I'm doing, just in case people are wondering. I hate not knowing, but I don't want to like over explain stuff and like be repetitive, so it's all right. I'll find the sweet spot as I stream more. What's up? What's up? I'm low-key just wrapping up split, honestly. We're finishing up A. I think we got some good A aggression. Lurking. That's what I'm on to next. Should I show you? Let's find some lurking. There's been some pretty good setups so far for split. Lurking wise, what do we have the option to? All right, let's first consider the scenario where team's going A. What do we want to provide as a lurker? What's some valuable stuff? Yeah, there's some really good defensive combos that we found with vents, like with stairs, and even this, because you can play vents, no pressure mid. We're rotating to help with the pressure on A. 1 second. All right. So let's say we just want to apply slow pressure mid. So when you're lurking on this, when you're lurking with chamber on split, they're gonna put a sage wall here. You just want to shoot the sage wall. You're shooting the sage wall immediately because you do not want to give them the security to just instantly rotate through vents. When you shoot this, you're slowing them down and you're making them think, and they've got to clear this and like, oh, there's someone mid. So shooting the wall is really important when you're lurking. So that's like a must. If you're gonna go mid somewhere, I don't know how the setups look. How the setup would look here. There's nothing before the barriers we can put. But definitely we're shooting down the wall mid. We can do like the same sort of thing where we're putting, no, that will get punished. That will definitely get punished. Since you're by yourself, you cannot do that. Yeah, I guess if you're just playing super passively, you just have something super. Honestly, it's not that good. Maybe we can find something else. Mark it down as a maybe. something over there. That's if you want to like play really passive. And you're even slow to rotate back to your team too. Like that buys you like half a second. And then you have to wrap all the way back through. You'd probably just want to go through vents so that you definitely want to go through vents at that point. You're just gonna fight people, run into some people. Let's see. Ooh. Do I like, if they're going A, you kind of got to go sewers just because it's quicker to like rotate to help them. Like, you could do something over here, but more often than not that gets raised naded or something. So honestly, lurking midwise, unless you want to like fight everything dry, which I don't recommend, and then you can like do some crazy TP up there. I think that's just the best you got. Just breaking the wall. That's enough value if you lurk mid. So would be crazy. What if we break? Alright, so here's another idea. This is something you communicate with your team. So your team's sitting outside A main. As a chamber, I used to do this a lot because you had the mobility to like TP halfway across the map and re-hit with your team. But what you would do, you go mid, you put your TP like this. You'd find a sweet spot just so you can peek this enough to break the wall. So they think there's presence mid. Then you come through garage and then like maybe like pre-fire this angle, make some footsteps, maybe like jiggle peek this and pre-fire some stuff. And they're like, okay, there's presence mid in garage. They might pull like a rotator, or they might like really start focusing on B, and then your team executes onto A after they wait. That's after you apply pressure. That's after you break the wall and just like do some random firing in those spots. That's probably what I would do as chamber. And that would keep them on their toes. They wouldn't. Those. It's a good change up, because now they're like, oh wow, these guys are like really doing different strategies. Now we can't rotate fast and stuff like that. So it like sets you up in winning positions the rest of the game, just doing one play like this. Yeah. That's less of a setup and more of like just a strategy, but I'm gonna throw it in there. It's technically lurking. Yeah. Okay. Let's say they go B. It's kind of the same situation. We really want to... So your team's going B. Is there like that good of a lurk? I mean, I guess if you don't want to fight mid's pretty important, but if you have like somebody going mid already, you could just chill. It's more of a default. You're safe here and you could push this, but then you're like, you can't really do much else. Yeah, I don't know. You're almost better off just doing the normal attack one and then doing what you want to do, whether that's taking map control or just holding it. Yeah, that would really dictate it. If you're looking for like an aggressive flank, if your team's like 5 stacking B and you're expecting them to, well, 4 stacking in this scenario, if they're stacking B and you're expecting rotates, like fast rotates, then you might want to play a more aggressive TP so you can like flank, if that makes sense. I'd probably go through vents or something, but honestly, it's less viable if you've been like rotating a lot or doing fakes and stuff, because they're gonna anchor more, especially if they have like a killjoy or a chamber. It's even less viable then too. So I don't know how I feel about that. But in general, Just lurking mid and faking sites is what Chamber would do if he's not going to second entry. Okay. Well, let's think here. What's the move? What do you guys want to see? What do you guys want me to do? I could hop on Valorant. I'd have to warm up. That's pretty boring to watch. I guess this could technically be considered boring to watch too. Yeah. Could play Valorant. I kind of wanted to wait to play Valorant until after the update though, because it'd be cooler. Viper. What does that mean? What do you want me to do with Viper? Yeah, that's a hard one. Because I do have... Let me pull up my Discord and see... Check something real quick. Okay. Actually, I think Chamber on Icebox was not that bad. We are looking at it. On attacking B, he was pretty passive. Like playing B because he needs his trip, because his trip's very valuable. He had to play pretty passively. But I think Chamber's not gonna be too bad. Like he has a lot of defensive value on A, just because his TP covers most of the A. So no need to fear if you're not feeling Viper on Icebox. I'm pretty sure Chamber will still be a good pick to throw in there. Oh, and you're a Viper main. Okay, that's what you're asking. Okay, yeah. Okay, people have asked me to make it public, but here's the thing. I don't want to give out my work yet until I put it in a nice refined video, because like some of the stuff in there I don't like enough yet to like make public. Like if people really wanted to, they could go through my live streams. I know that's a lot of work, but it'll be better for you guys if you wait, and I can refine it all and like get into the nitty-gritty of every setup. I think that'd be best rather than sharing it. I would be a nicer content creator if I shared it with you guys, but I kind of want to save it for my video and refine it. So for Viper on Icebox, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, I could. What I might do is like some of the stronger setups we found that are like I'm confident in and I like enough, I might post on the Discord. I have to decide. I just hate to give away like every setup and then like why would you watch the video in the first place? So with Viper on Icebox, one of the biggest things I would say is one of the best things about Viper is she's like a universal controller. So when you're playing Viper on Icebox, you have to take advantage of that fact. Like Brim, okay, there's Viper. Like Brim, for instance, he has to be like pushing A with the team if he has to smoke anything. He's like not good on Icebox mainly because of that. But there's Viper lineups. There's plenty of lineups for like, there's good stuff for Viper. So I'm sure you already know the lineups since you're a Viper main. So with that in mind, you can smoke for your team. Like you can do the walls and you should be lurking. You should take advantage of the fact that she is a universal controller, and applying pressure in the map elsewhere. You don't want to do this all the time, but you want to make sure you're mixing it up when you're playing Viper. And the biggest thing I can see on attack is maybe you're not lurking enough. It's hard for me to tell you like tips because I can't see your gameplay. Like I haven't seen your gameplay. But I think one of the biggest things I don't know if you're low elo, like your rank or anything, but not lurking enough with Viper can be really bad. Yeah, it's pretty hard because it takes a lot of game sense. You got to understand when's a good time to lurk, what agents you're expecting, and what utility you're expecting, stuff like that. Yeah, so you're probably not lurking enough. And I'm gonna tell you right now, your teammates are gonna complain immediately. The first time you lurk with Viper, your teammates are gonna complain. They're gonna be like, "Bro, hold spike and plant for us." That's what they're gonna tell you. Don't listen to them. I'm making a video about that in the future, geared towards lower elo players. But you're gonna get a lot of hate for something that's actually correct, and you're gonna have to just deal with it. I wouldn't explain yourself too much, but you should be lurking. Yeah. Is there any other questions that you guys have? Down to 6 viewers. People didn't like me talking about Viper, apparently. All good though. Yeah, I'm open to any questions. Like, I enjoy talking about. I'm not as experienced with other agents, of course, but like, I've played at a high rank enough to know like a decent bit about every agent. How should Chamber lurk and attack? Okay, so the biggest thing when lurking with Chamber is the timing. I'm not going to go too big into the setups. I'm going to go more into the game sense version of lurking with Chamber. So when you're playing Chamber, I hate to play Icebox. I'll give the example in Icebox. What's a map I like to lurk in? I like Breeze. Well, we'll just do Icebox. So the biggest thing if you're going to lurk with Chamber, first, it's nice to have TPs where you could TP somewhere safe after lurk, but it's not always possible. So sometimes you're just lurking without any like TPs or anything. And with the new Chamber, you're gonna have to like gear your trip towards that lurk. The biggest things to take away with lurking with Chamber, you want to make sure you're not pushing up yet. Like the round just starts, you are not pushing. You are sitting here doing nothing for the first like 15-20 seconds. I shouldn't give it time. You're sitting here until your team starts putting a lot of utility into A and they're pressuring it. And when they're starting to get up here, then at this point you can assume the enemy team's like, okay, they're pushing on A, let's play retake. So at this point, they're rotating. The other team's rotating. So then you want to time this right where you can like catch this rotator. They're gonna be peeking this, they're gonna be ready for this. So you don't want to be like pushed up here and then they catch you from behind. So you want to, even though they're gonna like check mid, you just want to be ready for this, and then you're gonna push with this because the person mid boiler, they're going A, they're gonna help with A. So at that time you'd push up, fight this, do whatever type of thing you want to do. But that's a pretty important concept. The timing part of it, it's hard to understand. And you don't want to lurk a lot. Lurking strong with Chamber, but it's strong because once you do it once, now your team's pushing up here. Let's say you're not lurking and you're playing like a support agent on belt, a support role on belt. Well, now this person here is like playing really slow and like just sitting here for a while. And the person mid boiler might actually just be holding this and waiting for you because they know you've done it before. So now there's one or two less people your team has to fight to get sight. Like that's the value lurking provides. It's not like the 1 or 2 rat kills you get. It's like the constant pressure the rest of the game. Now the enemy team has to think a lot more. I have like some notes on this. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Okay, maybe I don't. Probably on a different account. Any other questions? That was a good one. I don't know if that made sense. Better safe than sorry. You shouldn't. Okay, so you're silver. Oh wait, you're okay, Forest. You're not silver. Sorry. it's hard to predict that. It's like, you're not predicting it. That's the thing. You're really waiting. And like, by the time your team's up here, they're pushing. You should be ready to push. Like, at that point, there's no way someone's still sitting here. Like, they're probably like at this point right now, by the time your team's up here. And you're just sitting here and waiting. Because you're not gonna gamble. You're not gonna push tube until like after spike is planted. You're sitting here waiting to get the pick. Like you've pushed up some, but you're not gonna like push all of this until like after spike is planted. Because you don't want to gamble. You have a lot of time because your team's on site. They're about to plant spike. So you don't want, like, getting here earlier doesn't affect it that much. And timing is something you get used to. Like I can say just like, timing is something that just takes time. But yeah. How can I help you guys with timing? That's a hard one. Because lurking's complicated. Just when lurking, better safe than sorry. Like, it's better you have less map control than overextending. Because time is not a problem most of the time. If you lurk once and they hold for you. Yeah, and if they're holding for you, that's good for your team. That's one less player. Because if they're holding for you and you die, let's say they're holding and spike is planted and there's like no shot someone's still there. But then you end up dying. Okay, well now you're just gonna play Bell and that guy's gonna hold there again. And there's just one less person. So like, it's just more pressure around the map. It's harder for the defenders to play around. Do you have a link to the other VODs? I want to go back and watch your other maps. Yes, they're on. It's on my channel on YouTube. Might be on Twitch too. I don't know. I think I'm gonna move off of Twitch. Focus on YouTube. It's easier to focus on one platform. But yeah, the VOD is on. It's like the different channels where you see videos, shorts, and then there's live. So. Yeah, it is a learned thing. Timing is definitely something you just learn over time. It's hard for me to like help you with that. You just gotta play more. Dude, there's so many videos I want to make. Like, I have a list. So here's the thing. I'm just so busy, but there's like video ideas for days, and I want to do them. I don't want to show you my video ideas. I don't want to spoil anything, but I want to do video, like all these different videos, but it like takes me like a month to make a good video. And because of school and everything. So that's the problem, because I wanted to go in depth on every map with chamber, but now because I like want to do all the different videos so badly, I might just do a huge 45-minute video where I don't go as in depth, but I still like cover everything the average player needs to know. It won't just be like immortal level knowledge, which isn't a big deal because like 0.3% of players are immortals, and gold and diamond players don't need to know half of that stuff anyway. Yep. I don't know if I want to play Valorant today. I might wait till tomorrow. I've got a lot of schoolwork to do. I'd love to answer any more questions you guys have. Trying to think, is there anything else I can do if I don't want to play Valorant? I hate to end the stream so early, but I think short streams are fine. Yeah, you know what? There's no more questions. I might just call it a day. Yeah, I would recommend, if you have the time, just checking the other setups, because it's going to be like a good month or two before I post the setups video. So you might go a while without seeing a lot of the setups. Okay. All right. If you haven't joined the Discord, I would join it. I haven't like. I need to like get some like. I don't know. I know my stream's pretty bland. I don't have any commands or anything. My Discord's kind of bland too. It's like made by me, and help from Joel's. So. Yeah. All right. Well, this was a good stream today. A lot of people stopped by. I appreciate all the support. Streaming. Okay, I'm streaming this Friday. I've got 2 coaching sessions planned. Actually, I haven't talked to the other guy, but I think no, it's a long ways from Joel's collab. I said with the help of Joel's because my Discord is very similar to his. If anybody's in Joel's Discord, dude, I would love to. I can't wait to see where I am in a month, and that would be crazy to collab with Joel's. I've been talking to Saro a little bit. I don't know if you guys know Saro, but he makes really good educational guides, and I like his content. I don't know. Collabs are cool, but I'm far from that. I had like 83 subscribers like 3 days ago. But all right. Well, thanks to everybody who stopped by. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. I'll see you guys Friday. I think I'll be streaming about the same time. It actually might be later. I think I'm gonna be streaming later just because some people have work and stuff. So, all right, guys. See ya.